So let us take a few more questions and answers in RDBMS. What is normalization? Normalization is making your database non-redundant and free from inconsistency. So in this, what you do, you make a table and you decompose with certain rules. Normalization, they are from one and a half to it goes up to 5 and a half. So normalization is that scheme. It is a process of analyzing a given relation schemas based on their functional dependency and the primary key to achieve the properties of minimizing the redundancy and minimizing the insertion, deletion, and update anomalies. So the basic thing is functional dependency in the primary key. We want to reduce the redundancy and any anomalies which are generated from insertion, deletion, and updation. What is functional dependency? Functional dependency. Functional dependency is denoted by this. Between two sets of attribute x and y that are subset of say relation R, which specifies a constraint on the possible tuple that can form a relation state R of capital R. The constraint is of for any tuple T1 and T2 in R. If T1x is equal to T2x, then they have T1y is equal to T2y also. This means the value of x component of a tuple uniquely identify or determine the value of component y. So if we say that x is functionally dependent or y is functionally dependent on x, that means x is able to uniquely identify y. Okay. So sometimes we use it as a primary key. We call it as a primary key. But now I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about the function dependency. That means this is dependent on x for its identification or for its actions. This is function dependency. What is a function dependency f? And when is a function dependency f said to be minimal or minimum? See, every dependency in f has a single attribute for its right hand side. We cannot replace any dependency, say this type in f with a dependency of this type. Where what y is a proper subset of x and still have a set of dependency that is equivalent to f. So we cannot do this. So we cannot remove any dependency from f and still have set of dependency that is equivalent to f. This is the function dependency f is said to be minimum. What is multi-valued dependency? See, after BCNF and 3NF, multi-valued dependency causes the 4NF and 5NF. 4NF and 5NF, they are based on the multi-valued dependency only. So multi-valued dependency denoted by this x to y, double arrow, specified on a relation R, where x and y are both subset of R. And it specifies the following constraint like this on any relation R of capital R. If two tuples are nothing but the records exist in R, so that T1x is equal to T2x, where T3 and T4 should exist in R with following properties. This T3x, T4x, T1x, T2x. So T1x equal to T2x means it will be equal to T4x and T3x. T3y and T1y means T4y, T2y. T3z, T2z means T4z, T1z, where z is equal to, you combine x and y union and remove it for R. This is z. What is a lossless join property? What is a lossless join property? It guarantees that the spurious tuple generation does not occur with respect to the relation schema after decomposition. That means if you decomposed a relation into corresponding say 2 or 3 relationship, and if we combine them, then exactly the initial table or relation should come. This is the lossless join property. What is 1NF? One normal form. The domain of attribute must include only atomic, that is simple and indivisible values. The relation which follows this, only they have atomic values. We call it as this relation is in 1NF form. What is fully function dependency? It is based on a concept of full function dependency. Functional dependency x to y is fully function dependent if removal of any attribute of a from x means that dependency does not hold anymore. What is 2NF? Second normal form. A relation schema R is in 2NF. If it is in 1NF, that is, it is only having the atomic values. And every non-prime attribute of A in R is fully functionally dependent on the primary key. This is 2NF. What is 3NF? A relation schema R is in 3NF if it is in 2NF. And for every function dependency, either of the following is true. For X to A, X is the superkey of R, okay, and A is the prime attribute of R. A is the prime attribute of R. In other words, if every non-prime attribute is non-transitively dependent on a primary key, we call it as a CNF. What is BCNF? Boycott normal form. A relation R is in BCNF, Boycott normal form, if it is in 3NF, and it satisfies the additional constraint that for every function dependency of X to A, X must be the candidate key. Okay. What is 4NF? 4NF, fourth normal form. A relation R is said to be in 4NF if for every multi-value dependency X to Y that holds over R, the following is true. X is a subset or equal to this XY equal to R, and X is a superkey here. Okay. What is 5NF? A relation R is said to be in 5NF, fifth normal form. If for every joint dependency on relation R1 to Rn that holds on R, if one of the following is true, Ri is equal to I for some Ii, and the joint dependency is implied by the set of function dependency or R in which the left side is the key of R. What is DKNF, domain key normal form? A relation is said to be in DKNF if all the constraints and dependencies that should hold on the constraint can be enforced by simply enforcing the domain constraint and key constraint on the relation. So, domain constraint, key constraint, if all the dependencies and constraints that should hold on the constraint can be enforced by simply enforcing the domain constraint and key constraint. What are partial, alternate, artificial, compound, and natural key? First is partial key. Partial key, it is a set of attributes that can uniquely identify weak entities and that are related to same owner entity. So this is also known as discriminator. So partial key is for the weak entities. What is alternate key? All candidate keys excluding the primary key are known as the alternate keys because we have certain primary candidate key. Say you have this primary key, you choose one of this and you call it as a primary key. All others are, because they are all a candidate key, all others are called an alternate key. What is artificial key? If no obvious key, either stand alone or compound is available, then the last resort is to simply create a key by itself by assigning a unique number to each record or occurrence. Now this is known as developing an artificial key. See, if you have a table called, you have name, you have age, okay. Now name and age cannot uniquely identify any tuple. For that you add social security number or Aadhaar card. That is the artificial key. Compound key. If no single data element uniquely identify occurrences within a construct, then combining multiple elements to create a unique identifier for the construct is known as creating a compound key. So you can have one more, say, one more key here. Okay, you can have one more key and see all these three also they are not able to identify the tuple uniquely. So what you combine? You combine a name with this key. This can key be anything. We combine these two keys and we call it as a compound key. Now we come to natural key. When one of the data elements stored within a construct is utilized as the primary key, and one of the data elements stored in the construct is utilized as the primary key, it is called a natural key. What is indexing? What are the different kinds of indexing? See, indexing is a technique for determining how quickly specific data can be found. So, if we want to find the data quickly or access the data quickly, we have to do indexing. So, these are the types of indexing: binary search style indexing, B-tree indexing, inverted list indexing, memory resident table, and table indexing. What is the system catalog or catalog relation? How is better known as this? What is system catalog and catalog relation? A RDBMS maintains a description of all the data that it contains, information about every relation and the index that it contains. So this information is stored in a collection of relations maintained by the system, which is called as a metadata. It is also called as a data dictionary. What is meant by query optimization? The phase that identifies an efficient execution plan for evaluating a query that has the least estimated cost is referred to as query optimization. You have a query. Now, this query may take the sequence of query may take longer time or non-efficient. So you arrange them in a certain way so that the execution can give you is efficient, or this is known as the query optimization. Now, what is joint dependency and inclusion dependency? Joint dependency is a generalization of multi-value dependency. A JD, or a joint dependency of R1 to Rn, is said to hold over relation R if R1 to Rn is a lossless joint decomposition of R. So there is no set of sound and complete inferences rules for JD, but JD is like this. Okay, lossless joint decomposition of R. What is inclusion dependency? The inclusion dependency is a statement of the form that some columns of a relation, they are contained in another columns. So the foreign key constraint is an example of inclusion dependency. So if some columns of a relation is contained in another column, we call it as an inclusion dependency. What is durability in DBMS? See, once the DMS database management system informs you that a transaction has successfully completed, so its effects should persist even if the system crashes before all its changes are reflected on the disk. This property is called the durability. What do you mean by atomicity and aggregation? Atomicity. Atomicity means either all actions are carried out or none. All are carried out or none. So users should not have to worry about the effect of incomplete transactions. DBMS ensures this by undoing the actions of incomplete transactions. What is aggregation then? A concept which is used to model a relationship between a collection of entities and a relationship. You will see this as a base or child-parent relationship. So a concept in which this concept is used to model a relationship between a collection of entities and relationship. It is used when we need to express a relationship among the relationship. That is the aggregation. So a relationship inside a relationship. This is an aggregation. And what I was talking about was the parent-child. That was in the generalization. What is phantom deadlock? In distributed deadlock detection, the delay in propagating local information might cause the deadlock detection algorithm to identify deadlock that do not really exist. Such situations are called phantom deadlocks, and they lead to unnecessary aborts. What is the checkpoint and when does it occur? A checkpoint is like a snapshot of the DBMS state or a milestone. So by taking this checkpoint, C1, C2, the DBMS can reduce the amount of work to be done if it wants to undone during restarting the event of subsequent crashes. If this is checkpoint, say this is checkpoint, and the action has been taken till this point, so it will revert back to this point. But if the checkpoint is this, the action does not revert to this. It will revert only to C3. So all these work is being, you can get rid of or you can be relieved from this type of work from the checkpointing. What are the different phases of transaction? First, we have analysis phase, redo phase, and undo phase. What do you mean by a flat file database? Flat file database. It is a database in which there are no programs or user access language that you find in DBMS. Like you have programs DML, DDL, and set of programs to access. So it has no cross-file capabilities, but it is user-friendly and it provides user interface management also. What is transparent DBMS? The transparent DBMS which keeps its physical structure hidden from the user. Transparent DBMS. Now network hierarchical schemas and their properties. Network schemas use graph data structure to organize record example for such database management system. While hierarchical schema use tree data structure for such a system. These are different type of, you don't have to worry about this. What is a query? A query with respect to DBMS is related to the user commands that is used to interact with the database. So if you ask something from the database, that is a query. If you require something from the database, you query. If you want to change something, then also you can call it as a query. So a query language can be classified into data definition language and data manipulation language. The first two were data definition, the last one that is to modification is the data manipulation language. What do you mean by correlated subquery? Correlated subquery? Subqueries or nested subqueries or nested queries, they are used to bring back a set of rows to be used by the parent query. So depending upon how the query is written, it can be executed once for the parent query or it can be executed once for each row written by the parent query. So if the subquery is executed for each row of the parent, this is called the correlated subquery. Again, if the subquery is executed for each row of this parent, This is called a correlated subquery. So a correlated subquery can be easily identified if it contains any references to the parent subquery columns in its where clause. Columns from the subquery cannot be referenced anywhere else in the parent query. This is the example of non-correlated subquery. Select star, select all from customer where this is the date in. Now this is again select some date from order where customer number is order number, C number. This is an example of correlated subquery. What are the primitive operations common to all record management systems? Addition, deletion, and modification, you will find it anywhere, everywhere. Name the buffer in which all the commands that are typed in are stored. Edit buffer. That is how you can undo, etc. What are the unary operations in relational algebra? Projection and selection. Projection and selection, select from. These are the unary operations in relational algebra. Are the resulting relation of product and join operation the same? No. Product means you are concatenating or adding, joining of every row in one relation with every row in another. Product. Same product. Join is concatenation of rows from one relation and related rows from another. Not all. What is RDBMS kernel? Two important pieces of RDBMS architecture are the kernel, which is the software, and the data dictionary. So we have the RDBMS with your kernel and data dictionary, which consists of the system level data structure used by the kernel to manage the database. So you might think of RDBMS as an operating system first of all, or set of systems designed specifically for controlling the data access or its primary functions that are storing, retrieving, securing data. So an RDBMS maintains its own list of authorized users and their associated privileges. It manages memory caches and paging, controls locking of concurrent resource usages, dispatches and schedules user requests, and manages space usage within its table space structures. Name the subsystem of RDBMS. Input-output, security, language processing, process control, storage management, logging and recovery, distribution control, transaction control, and memory management, log management. These are all the subsystems of a RDBMS. Which part of the RDBMS take care of the data dictionary? Which part? Data dictionary is a set of tables and database objects that is stored in a special area of the database and maintained exclusively by the kernel. Kernel takes care of the data dictionary. What is the job of the information stored in the data dictionary? The information in the data dictionary validates the existence of objects. It provides access to them and maps the actual physical storage location. Not only RDBMS takes care of locating data, it also determines an optimal access path to store or retrieve the data. So it is true. How do you communicate with an RDBMS? You can communicate with an RDBMS using structured query language, SQL. Define SQL and state the differences between the SQL and other conventional programming languages. SQL is actually a non-procedural language that is designed specifically for data access operation on normalized relational database structure. You might have heard about QUEL. So this SQL is derived from SQL and one more language, and this is a non-procedural language, but this is optimized and specifically designed for data access operation on the normalized relational database structure. So the primary difference between your SQL and other conventional programming languages is that SQL statements specify what data operation should be performed rather than how to perform it. Okay, SQL statements specify what data operation should be performed, not how to perform, but it shows how to perform. Name the three major set of files on the disk that compose a database in Oracle. There are three major sets of files on disk that compose a database. Oracle is a database only. All the files are binary. These are database files, control files, and redo logs. Database files, control files, and redo logs. So the most important of these are the database files, where the actual data resides. The control file and the redo log support the functioning of the architecture itself. So all three sets of files must be present, open, and available to Oracle or database for any data on the database to be usable. So without these files, you cannot access the database, and the database administrator might have to recover some or all of the database using the backup if there is one. What is Oracle instance? The Oracle system processes, also known as the Oracle background processes, provide functions for user processes, functions that would otherwise be done by the user process themselves. Oracle data-wide system memory is known as SGA, the system global area or shared global area. So the data and control structure in the SGA, that is the global area, are shareable in all the Oracle background processes and user process can use them. The combination of SGA and Oracle background processes is known as the Oracle instance. What are the 4 Oracle system processes that must always be up and running for database to be usable? So the 4 Oracle system processes that must always be up and running for the database to be usable include database writer, log writer, system monitor, and process monitor. Okay. So these were a few more questions on your database, RDBMS concept. We'll take one more session of this. Till then, thank you so much. Take care.